So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You, and you're now tuned into my review of the Day of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary special of Doctor Who. Now, I saw it last night or yesterday afternoon here in New York City, and I'm going to give you my opinions on the film. There will be some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, don't watch this, or if you're not interested in being spoiled, or if you are interested in being spoiled, then sit back and enjoy. Now, the story is about the Doctor and Clara getting brought in by UNIT to handle a situation. And it's a pretty damn big situation. It's a painting that was actually brought from the past to the present from Queen Elizabeth. And the painting shows the destruction of Arcadia, which is a city on Gallifrey. Now, after this scene, we're given some insights on John Hurt's time as the warrior. Now, he comes to Gallifrey, and you're pretty much thinking, this guy is going to kick ass, because he's like, give me a gun. And I'm like, holy shit, the Doctor's using a gun, and he's going to come in and kick some Dalek ass, right? Yeah, no. He spells no more, literally spells no more, in the wall, and then bounces from Gallifrey while hitting a Dalek with the TARDIS. That's it. That's all that happened. And, at first you would be thinking that he's going to come here and he's going to wreck shit, but that didn't happen at all. So anyway, he goes to a distant planet. He's about to activate the moment, but then all of a sudden, the moment doesn't shut on. And then Billie Piper appears. So you're like, hold on, what? Rose is here? How the hell is Rose here? But it's not Rose. It's actually the moment presenting itself as Rose, because it has like an artificial AI. And it looks like Rose. It's taking on Rose Tyler from the memory of the Doctor from his future. That's how it was explained. So it's the Bad Wolf. And she's like, listen, I can give you two choices. You can either go through with, ending the Time War right now by using the moment, or you can see how it affected you in the future. That's by seeing 10 and 11. So what happens is, of course, 10, 11, and John Hurt are brought together in the 1500s during Queen Elizabeth's time. And this is also when the Zygons decide to come out. And they're actually formulating a plan to actually take over the Earth now. But they're actually using the painting as a way to get to the future so that they can break out and take over the world at that specific time, because that would be more suitable for them to take over. Yep. So I'm going to stop right there with the story and definitely talk about the things that I liked and the things that I didn't like. Now, first of all, I'm going to start off with David Tennant. I mean, who doesn't like David Tennant? When David Tennant first came out, everybody was like, yes. I mean, he came out with the comedy, he came out with the tin swag, and you're like, yes, this is the Doctor who I freaking love, man. This is David Tennant. So that was definitely one of the moments, one of the highlights of the film that I liked. The second thing that I liked about the film was, again, having Billie Piper not in as Rose Tyler, but having her in as the Bad Wolf was definitely something that wrapped up everything from Eccleston's age as the Doctor up until Matt Smith's time. So now the Bad Wolf has been released from its cage. We know who the Bad Wolf is. It's actually the moment. So I'm glad that they wrapped that up so nicely that you were like, yes, this works. Another thing that I liked about the film was the bickering between the Doctors, especially not so much between John Hurt, Matt, and David, but between David and Matt. They actually had a moment there where it was like they were going to go at it, and it dealt with still remembering the number of children that died on Gallifrey the day that the Doctor used the moment, and Tennant remembered the numbers, but Matt was like, I don't remember it because I don't care about it anymore. I try to forget it. And Tennant's like, how could you forget? But it was like a real powerful moment there between those two, and it was good seeing that on film. These two really fed off of each other in this film, and it worked, really worked. Another moment that I really loved about this film, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. Check this out.
This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Have I?
Ready. Commencing calculations.
Turn me there.
Across the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got to lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them. No, sir. Ah! All 13!
That moment was freaking epic. I mean, you had all 13 Doctors saving Gallifrey. They weren't just showing up and talking. They were actually saving Gallifrey. And you see them all in their TARDIS hitting their buttons. And when they showed Capaldi, I went ape shit, man. You see his eyes. He looks like he's bent on vengeance. Like he's just like, fuck this, man. Yeah, I'm going in. There's no more, hey, you know what? I'm Capaldi and I'm going to save the day. It's more like, let's get this shit on the road. That's how I wanted Hurt to look. I mean, Capaldi, man, I can't wait until you step in as the role of the Doctor, man, because I'm just looking forward to seeing you own this role. Now, again, that was one of the most epic moments of this film, hands down. I love it. Now, another thing that I did like about this film is that Tom Baker appeared at the end, at the very end, and it was sort of like a moment where you were like, what? Like, why is this old Tom Baker instead of, a CGI younger Tom Baker? But that moment is explained by, or at least I'm pulling from it, by 10 actually coming to 11 and saying, we can change that Trenzalore incident. They never say that you can't do anything about that moment. And right after he says that and 10 goes back to his time, Tom Baker comes out and he's talking as if he is the Doctor. He's like, yes, you're me or I'm you, and they're joking about it. And he was like, who knows? And then he's basically saying that he's the retired version of the Doctor. He's a curator of this museum, because that's what Matt is saying that he would like to be. And then Tom Baker comes out and says, yes, that's what I am, and I am you, and you're me. So Tom Baker is basically an older version, a regenerated version of the Doctor from his future. So we basically get proof that the Doctor will live past Trenzalore. That incident will be avoided somehow by something or someone. Who knows? So anyway, that was definitely a cool part. Now, getting to the things that I didn't like that the Zygons were basically not explored much. Like if you didn't watch earlier seasons with the Zygons, then you wouldn't know who they are. Besides here, they're just like, hey, we're here, we can change forms, and we're here to take over the world. Another thing that I didn't like is that John Hurt's Doctor wasn't something to be feared or something that was dark. Even though he didn't go through it the moment, when he came to Gallifrey, I expected him to kick some butt. But he did not. He just hit a Dalek with the TARDIS. Another thing that I didn't like was the meeting between UNIT and the Zygons wasn't really focused on. I mean, they're at a meeting trying to go over things that they can possibly come through on a mutual agreement, and we don't get any more insight on that. Maybe with Capaldi's run, but again, why show it here if you're not going to really show what they were actually discussing or how it actually ended? Yeah, I mean, what? And the last thing that I really didn't like is that Clara didn't really have anything to do in this film. She was just there to be there because she was the companion of Matt Smith. Besides that, why were you here? You didn't do anything. I mean, Billie Piper had a bigger role than you, and she wasn't even Rose Tyler. So, yeah, those are my likes and my dislikes. What am I going to give this? I'm definitely giving it a 4 out of 5. Mainly because the end scene with the 13 Doctors was freaking awesome, man. I mean, that blew everybody out of their seats. So, 4 out of 5 for me, guys. If you guys have any questions or anything that you would like to elaborate on that I didn't go over with, or things that I did go over with that you don't agree with, let me know below, guys. And again, this is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You. Stay tuned for more reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a good one, Whovians.